This week has seen a lot of headlines on international politics, but none has created as much buzz as this one. US President Joe Biden's comments on Taiwan. He set the cat among the pigeons with this one. Biden said America will militarily defend Taiwan if China invades. Now there's a debate on whether it was a gaffe or an intentional comment. Biden's team says it was not part of the talking points given to him, and that's the thing with being a president. All your comments are weighed, debated and vetted by a team. Well, this one was apparently not. So Biden's advisors are said to have been completely taken by surprise. And we know what followed. The White House dispatched a cleanup crew. They tried to spin Biden's statements. They offered a clarification. They said that the US remains strategically ambiguous about Taiwan, no change in policy. But China is having none of it. It is retaliating. The Chinese military is organizing drills around Taiwan, and this is a very serious escalation, something that could even lead to a conflict. China is making threats. Last night they released a statement. This is what it says. It is hypocritical and futile for the United States to say one thing and do another on the Taiwan issue and frequently encourage and support Taiwan independence forces. China now says America is colluding with Taiwan. It has called the statement a solemn warning, and it is conducting military exercises. China has not shared the specifics, but some details have emerged. The drills will be in the waters and airspace around Taiwan. This means China will use warships and fighter jets. Beijing says it wants to combine combat readiness patrols with actual combat drills. And that sounds like preparation for an invasion. The Chinese Foreign Ministry is also threatening consequences. That's the word they've used.
The US has violated its commitment on the Taiwan question, hollowed out the One China principle, and both covertly and secretly incited and supported Taiwan's independence separatist activities. If it carries on down the wrong path, it will not only cause irredeemable consequences for the China-US relationship, but also eventually incur an unbearable cost to the US.
Remember, Beijing has been stepping up incursions near Taiwan. They began the moment Joe Biden arrived in South Korea. On that day, 14 Chinese aircraft breached Taiwan's air defense zone. So far this year, more than 300 incursions have been reported, 300 Chinese incursions. Last year, the number had crossed 900. With China announcing more drills, the incursions will continue and Chinese ships will swarm the waters near Taiwan. Now, here's why we say that these drills raise the risk of conflict. There is a serious military build-up around Taiwan. The American Navy has been making moves. In the month of March this year, they conducted a drill in the Tokyo Bay. And this happened for the first time. The Japanese self-defense force was involved. Japan, as you know, does not have an army. They have what they call a self-defense force. So along with the Americans, the Japanese simulated an attack on a submarine. And that's not all. Last summer, 5 missile destroyers arrived in Yokosuka. This is in central Japan. Yokosuka is home to America's largest naval base overseas. 2 ships have been replaced, and unlike the old ships, the new ones can multitask. They can engage in anti-aircraft warfare. They can spy on submarines. They're equipped with helicopter hangars. They can respond to missile attacks. There are 13 American warships in Yokosuka. All these vessels are now deployed near Taiwan. From Yokosuka, American ships can deploy to the Taiwan Straits in less than 2 days. The Americans are also training the Taiwanese forces. They want Taipei to adopt Ukraine's playbook. Study what worked for the Ukrainian forces against Russia. Take lessons and use the same tactics if the Chinese invade. So here's what we have now. A contested territory, 2 world powers at odds, and a pile-up of lethal weaponry. The Taiwan Strait is a powder keg now. Joe Biden's statement is acting like a spark. China feels threatened. It is responding by sending ships and fighter jets. If Biden's words were meant to deter China, they have achieved the opposite. It is already testing Taiwan's defenses in the sky. Whenever there's an incursion, Taiwan scrambles its jets. They shadow the Chinese fighters until they leave. What happens if things go wrong? If a pilot commits a mistake? The world can ill afford another war, but that's where it seems to be heading. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.